Salvation for this sin is the gospel. The only way to really cure that what's on the inside is understanding that Jesus Christ died for our sins. And so to me, on a micro level, it's understanding.
Oh, and just like that, we lost him.
I'm really excited about a lot of his ideas, especially when it comes to bringing the soldiers home. I've been serving for 10 years now, and all 10 years of those have been during wartime. I'd like to see a little peacetime army, and I think he has the right idea.
Now, you have done 2 tours in Afghanistan. You told me you're going to go back for a 3rd tour. I mean, if you can see your neck right there, what you have on your tattoo, 9/11, remember, and a picture of the Twin Towers. You know, some Republicans out there have been saying that Ron Paul would be very dangerous for this country because he wants to bring troops like you back from your post from all over the world.
Well, I think it would be even more dangerous to start nitpicking wars with other countries. Someone like Iran, Israel is more than capable of.
All right, we just lost our connection, unfortunately, with Dana. Dana, stand by if you can hear me. We're going to get back. You want to go to Candy Crowley over at Mitt Romney headquarters.
But largely Hillary Clinton's comments here today, John, were based around the recent violence that we have seen, the police-involved shootings of black men in Minnesota, in Louisiana, and then the killing of white police officers by a black gunman in Dallas. That was really what she based her comments on around today. And remember, Hillary Clinton has some vulnerabilities herself, even as she calls for criminal justice reform because of her support in the 1990s for anti-crime legislation that ultimately helped contribute to this era of mass incarceration that she now speaks out again.
We just lost Breonna Keeler, who was in Springfield, Illinois, where Hillary Clinton just spoke.
You'd have let Citibank fail, would you, today?
Of course. I'd have let AIG fail. I'd have let Bear. There'd be a lot of firms that would be failing if the government had stepped out of the way. But capitalism isn't about propping up failed companies. We need to let them fail. There's reason that these companies are going broke. We don't want to prop them up. Now, of course, behind it all is the Federal Reserve. If the Federal Reserve had never intervened in the market back in 2001 and 2002, had they not poured all this alcohol, then Wall Street wouldn't have got drunk. But they did. They made a lot of bad decisions, and now we've got to suffer the consequences. But it's not fair to try to say that the whole country, that everybody around the world who's holding U.S. dollars has to pay because of the bad bets made on Wall Street.
All right. So, given what you're saying, you say government get out of the way, let the invisible hand of the free markets work this out. You'd be staring down the barrel of awfully difficult time for a very long time for many, many Americans at this point.
No question about that. But it's false to assume that the government can do anything about that. I am convinced that everything the government is doing to fight this off is going to make.
And I'm afraid we've lost our guest there. I'm sorry about that. Technical problems, but...
And his son, the senator, in just a little while, they start a 5-stop tour here in Des Moines in a couple of hours. But one thing that we really are looking for is whether or not Ron Paul's organization can prevail. I talked to a senior Paul advisor who insists that they have enough voters ID'd, identified, that actually could give... All right, we apologize for that. We lost our connection to Dana back there in Des Moines. But
And then first Kurt, and then I will let you respond. You're talking about something that happened over a decade ago. The man has been impeached for it. She is not responsible for her husband's actions, yet you are bringing it into a campaign, and it doesn't seem fair. What if you did the same thing with Donald Trump from something his spouse or his father, if someone else did in his family? It has nothing to do with him running for president. We're talking about his own actions, his own individual merit. So if you're going to talk about Hillary Clinton, then bring Hillary Clinton's actions into it. Don't bring her husband's actions into it.
I'd like to bring Hillary Clinton's actions into it.
Absolutely.
When she was given the choice between standing with a serial sexual abuser
all right, Kurt. Stop. That's not fair. That's not fair. That's not fair. Can we stop that, please? It is not fair. It is not fair. It is a low blow. It is the, yes, I want to end it. So this is the lowest of the low, and it has nothing to do with Hillary Clinton. It is just a cheap shot that, can you please stop? Can we stop? Can we cut him off, please? Thank you. Can we end this? Thank you. We're done. Thank you. We'll be right back.
But the people are waking up. They remember 10 years ago. They remember and they witness the results today of what's going on in Iraq. Now, even some people in Iraq are saying, well, do not go in there and bomb because we're going to help Assad. Some of the Shia wants to come in. You know, al-Assad wants to go in and help him. So this thing could easily spread. But who created Iraq? We did. That's our country. And now they're aligned with the Iranians. So the whole theory is that we're going into Syria because that's the way you march into Iran. At the same time, we've made it tougher. We've made it tougher for Israel. We've made it tougher for the people who want to live in peace in Iraq. And now we're just stirring it up in Syria. It's a civil war. We don't have the authority. And the vote in England, the British vote in the Parliament, that is fantastic. The first time since 1782.
Ron Paul,
the people are getting in charge.
I got to wrap it up, but I just want to clarify one point. You're not blaming the United States for the civil war in Syria over the past 2.5 years that have already resulted more than 100,000 people dead. I think we just lost Ron Paul. Unfortunately, the satellite must have gone down.
Outside the arena to Miguel Marquez. Miguel, we're getting reports that protesters are getting rowdier outside. What's going on?
Yeah, what you're looking at right now, as that song was being sung, as the gavel was being hammered down on the DNC, this group, Democracy Spring, about 200 or 300 strong, came marching in, and they've now taken on a level of civil disobedience to block the delegates from coming into this one particular entrance. As you can see, they are laying down in front of the entrance. They are letting police through, and the police, if you look over this way...
All right, Miguel, thank you so much. We're going to cut you off. We're going to cut you off right now. We're going to cut you off right now. We're going to cover right now. Boys to Men, Philadelphia's Own is here, and they're performing on stage.
Boys to Men going up. Not too hard, not too soft. Come on. Long overdue. Now Philly's slamming. We got Boys to Men, ABC, and BB. The East Coast man never seems to be. Oh no. While pulling on South Street, we got Jet Black Ben, plenty of friends.
And all the Philly sketch, you can eat one, yeah.